Hey everyone, this is Robert Aldana. Welcome to the Pulse of Scotts Valley. Got a great show lined up for you today. You know what we try to do is we try to get some cool people in here, and there is no one cooler in town than this gentleman here, Matt Laughlin. How you doing, Matt?
Not bad. How are you, man?
Good, good. So for those of you who don't know Matt, I think there's like 2 or 3 of you who still don't know Matt, but he's a general manager at Laughing Monk.
Yes, sir.
And so how long you been there, Matt?
About 2 years.
Okay.
Started kind of right around this time last year. I started training in August at the Sunnyvale location, and then came about mid-September over to Scotts Valley to take it over and see the transition to Fault Line into Laughing Monk, essentially.
Awesome. We're gonna pick your brain, dude, because I want to know who you are. You're super popular in town. I mean, I'm telling you right now, but you know what? That's actually a good thing, because the people the patrons or the people who visit Laughing Monk, dude, they all love you. You talk to everybody. You walk in, you're like a freaking rock star. We're talking business or trying to do multi-million-dollar deals, and the moment that Matt walks in, everybody's like, "Oh shoot, there's Matt. What's up, Matt?" Right. All right, I'm bragging a little.
That's good.
No, but it's cool because, like, it's cool when you have a relationship with people that are your customers, right?
Absolutely.
And it's cool when you can walk into any place and know that you have friends pretty much everywhere. And I feel like you got that, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I got community probably about 3 foot tall on the wall in my restaurant.
Awesome.
And when I first kind of came in, I looked around and was like, yeah, we got to make this a community.
Yeah.
Because I come from a small town in Jersey. This is kind of a small town. It reminds me a little bit of back home. But essentially, I was like, hey, let's do some big things in a small town.
Yeah.
And it's great to hear that everyone kind of knows me, and I'm kind of becoming a part of this community, which is great, because then that means I'm doing my job.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what we're trying. We're trying to be like, that local spot where you celebrate your 10th birthday, right? And then a few years later, you take your first girl out on a date to Laughing Monk in high school, and you're like, that's the spot we're kind of trying to be.
Yeah, and you know what? And I think that it is because, we've got I'm chewing a little mint here.
No worries.
But we got a few great places in town, without a doubt, man. There's some really good places to go hang out, and yours is one of them. And yours is, I'm not going to say it's an up and coming one because it's been here for a few years now, right? But first of all, let me just find out a little bit about you. So you used to be a DJ, or you still are a DJ?
Used to.
Okay.
About 2010, I started my foray into the whole DJ biz. I was a drummer most of my life, and then finally decided, can't get a band together. No one was committed. So I was like, I always wanted 2 turntables and a microphone,
Awesome.
So became a hobby, slowly became a job. It turned and then just evolved into a business that I built doing corporate events, weddings, sweet 16s, through the whole EDM boom from 2012 to 2016.
What's EDM boom? What's EDM?
The electric, it's like electric dance music. It's
Okay,
EDM.
Gotcha. See, that tells you how old I am, bro. And just so you know, I'm like 61, right?
Well, they took techno and then they just created, and they just started calling it EDM because the genre exploded into a bunch of them.
All right.
And it kind of, how music goes up and down. And so the resurgence came around 2010 to 2016. And during that time, I spent my days in New York. I was there every weekend. I was that guy, you wanted to go party. 2 blocks up, you'd be walking by. I was like, hey, you need some tickets? And then I'd go in and then, go DJ and show back up.
So what's your favorite music? What's your favorite music that you played?
I really
were you brought everything pretty much?
I was very, very big into kind of open format, as they call, where I would play a little hip hop, a little pop music, a lot of dance remixes and stuff. But essentially in New York, I would always either warm up the floor and open, or I would close for the headliner. So a lot of times I would match what the headliner did. If they were kind of like a drum and bass artist, then that's what I would go with. If they were more techno or house, I would follow that suit and just kind of design my set to make sure it fit within the theme of the night. And that also kind of kept me getting bookings because people appreciated me just, playing to the style of the evening rather than coming in and trying just to showcase myself.
I would imagine that kind of, because I really believe that there's a lot of things that we do in life that set us up for what we're doing. They kind of guide you in that direction, right? And I believe that probably had a lot to do because you had to have been a person who talks to everybody. If you're a DJ, you're like, dude, you're out there talking to so many other people, right?
I networked my butt off, 24/7. If I wasn't playing that night, I was somewhere else supporting another DJ, making sure they saw me, meeting different teams, or I was at any event that I had a promo team, about 15 people, that would go off, sell tickets, invite people to use our guest list and such, and that's how I made my money back there, during that time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're from Jersey.
Yep.
A little town in Jersey. How small was it? Or how many people lived in that town?
I'd say a couple thousand.
Oh, so it's much smaller than Scotts Valley.
I would say so because it's growing. It's definitely a lot more people. But my town was so small, we shared a high school with the town next to us because we weren't big enough to form a high school. So between those two schools and then that class kind of ended up being about 250.
Okay.
So yeah, my eighth grade graduating class into high school, we were like 150 or something, 150 kids or something like that.
Wow, that's cool though, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
it's kind of a nice little feel, right?
I liked it. I miss it. And the best part was I'd go to school, I'd be passing cow farms and there's people riding horses down my road. I'd hear chickens and goats in the morning and I loved that. And it was so cool because then also I jump in my car, 45 minutes down the road, I'm in New York City.
Yeah.
45 minutes down the parkway, I'm at the beach.
That's kind of like Scotts Valley because
100%.
You're hanging out in Scotts Valley.
Yep.
I mean, you got coyotes running across from you. You got deer, because I'll tell you, I've been here in Scotts Valley for almost 30 years.
Nice.
And when I moved here, we didn't have no sidewalks on Scotts Valley Drive. Sometimes there'd be somebody riding their horse on Scotts Valley Drive. I'm like, holy cow. And let me tell you, I come from East LA. East LA. So that's like a city, right? There's no it's the mega city like you're talking about, New York, etc.
Yeah.
So living in a place like Scotts Valley, dude, you appreciate that so much because it's so cool. It's not that I don't like being amongst a couple million people. I'm exaggerating, because when you go into even Santa Cruz, or if you go into San Francisco or San Jose, Silicon Valley, there's so many people. Scotts Valley is still. I know that we're doing some. There are some changes, and we got more homes coming up and everything, so there'll be more people here. But it's still not that many people, because even if they do 1,220 homes, that's 3,000 or 4,000 more people, more or less.
Plus more employees that I need.
Thank you.
I need kids to keep coming to this high school so I can keep hiring them.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. And I wasn't even going to talk about that, but you just brought up a great topic. And that is, the fact that Scotts Valley, we need places that people can afford so they can work here, because there's actually restaurants, Matt. By the way, you go by Matt, Matty, Matthew.
That's whatever, Matt,
okay.
Matty.
Okay, Matt.
A lot of friends back in Jersey called me Matty.
Okay, there you go.
Came out here, everyone just started calling me Matt, and I was like, did I grow up? What happened?
I hate when we grow up, right? I grew up as Bobby.
No,
that was my name, Bobby. So if you call me Bobby, it's because you've known me for a long, long time. So when I get a text that says, "Hey, Bobby," I'm like, "Oh shoot, this must be someone from my past." So but what the hell was I talking about?
Bringing people in.
Oh yeah, exactly. So the fact is, you as a GM, and we'll talk about that in a minute too, but you recognize that there's people who can't have a business because they don't have any workers that can help them keep the business. There's been a couple of businesses that have closed up in town, Matt. You probably know that.
Absolutely.
Because they couldn't find people that can afford to live here.
Yeah.
What about you? You're kind of feeling that?
No, I'm not feeling that, which is nice. I'm blessed. I tell everyone, and I say it every day, and I tell my staff, I am blessed and so lucky to have the staff that I do. They're all amazing people. They work so hard for me. They come in, day out with a smile on their face, and anything I throw at them, they just go, okay. Yeah, and they just smile through it, and it's so cool, and we're such a tight team, and I love that. And I'll say on this side of the hill, because I have kitchen people and some of my front of house employees too. They come from San Jose as well. It is difficult, especially in this industry, because I've been here about 5 years now. I've been running restaurants in town for about 5 years. And it's hard. When you have good people, you hold on to them and you take care of them, because Santa Cruz is it's big, it's condensed, but there's not a lot of people that work in this industry that live in Santa Cruz. Yeah.
They can't afford it.
They can't, no. Or they have, 3 bartending jobs. So their schedule is very strict and limited. And
they have 3 or 4 people living in a small condo.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
absolutely.
To be able to just afford it.
Oh, all of them have roommates and this and that. And then that's the other side of being a GM that a lot of people don't know and think about, is being a boss is when I make a schedule, when I look at someone I'm hiring, I make sure I can pay their bills, because that's my job. My job's to pay them to make sure they make enough money to live and keep working in this town and for me and afford the life that they want. So there's been a couple times that I won't lie, I've looked at hiring some people because I was like, I need somebody for 2 days a week, right? they're, you know, a 40-year-old adult. They have 2 kids. And I just look at them and say, hey, you qualify. I would love to hire you, but I don't have enough shifts to pay your bills. Yeah. I'm sorry, you know, I just don't. So, and they understand and they move forward. And it's just kind of an interesting thing where back in Jersey, I had a larger pool to pick from for sure. Yeah.
It's just the reality of it.
100%.
It's the economics of it.
It's just where we are. It's just the location of what it is. And, you know, a lot of people don't work in the restaurant industry in the Santa Cruz County.
Well, you know what's interesting? And, you know, when you break it down and you think about it, like we live in one of the most expensive housing markets in the country.
Yep.
Maybe even the world, right? So we live in one of the most expensive housing markets and places to live. So that's what you're going to get. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, so we got to figure out a way to make it so that people can actually work and live here. Like, I'll give you an example. Like people who have kids that go to school here and they don't want to be driving an hour, you know, the other side of the hill. They want to live here and work here. Like I'm blessed that I'm able to live here and work here, right? I'm my own business person. You too.
I have a 10-minute commute. My fiance works in San Jose.
So it's important. So hopefully we continue to address the housing issue.
Absolutely.
I think it could be done strategically. I don't think we need to blow up Scotts Valley to what it's different than what it was before, but I think strategically you can do it right.
I don't believe we need giant apartment buildings and stuff. I believe we need some townhomes and some, you know, 2-3 bedroom family apartments on quarter, half-acre lots. Give someone a little starter home. Because, I mean, that's what me and my fiance are looking for. Like, we're trying to get married next year, and then we're looking for a place to live. And I'm like, I like Scotts Valley. I would start a family here, and that's what I'm trying to do the next couple of years. And I'm just looking around like, you know, all my staff, I'm like, this is a good bunch of kids. If I had some kids, I was like, I want to be friends with these kids.
Heck yeah, absolutely.
You know? So we're looking to hopefully move up here and stuff and start our lives and family, but it's a challenge.
Yeah. So tell me about your fiance. Where'd you meet your fiance? You don't need to tell me the name or anything, but just where'd you guys meet?
12 years ago.
Wow.
Yep. Right. I met her at my famous July 4th party. I was known. I lived on 3 acres, had a pool and DJ, so everyone knew.
What a life.
My previous life in Jersey was, I had a very fun 10 years in my 20s for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was, my mom always said no one would pay me to party, but I proved her wrong. That was literally my job was to party and get paid. But yeah, so I always set up my DJ decks, everything, and then we'd go to PA because Jersey fireworks weren't allowed, but PA right over the border. It was funny, you know, the first exit in PA, there was about 10 fireworks stores. How coincidental. So everybody in Jersey goes and picks those up. And like, you know, we were in the country. 9 o'clock was the time. The whole neighborhood, because I was all around farms, and the skies were lit up. It was awesome. So I met her then, and it was just kind of like, you know, she was running the beer pong table. My buddy was like, dude, this girl's just holding it down, and like she's beating everybody. I was like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. So unfortunately, we lost to her, and and I guess it was love at first sight. And then we were been together 10 years, and then I proposed to her 2 years ago at Mammoth. Wow. The stars just aligned. I always wanted to do it in the winter up on a snowy mountain, but I also wanted to do it on July 4th. So the snowpack was big enough. Planned a trip to go snowboarding on July 4th at Mammoth. Brought her up and surprised her and proposed. And yeah, scariest moment ever.
You were a stand-up guy. Man, you're showing everybody how to do it.
I mean, awesome. I learned from my father. You know, I learned from a great one. So.
Yeah, awesome. So where are your parents?
They're in North Carolina now.
Okay.
Yep, they were in Jersey. Then the pandemic sent them out to Illinois for my grandma, and they sold her house, and they're all in North Carolina now with my sister, who's got 3 kids. Okay. Yeah, and my other sister's in Virginia.
So you came here trying to bribe me, right?
A little bit.
You brought this here. Like,
absolutely.
What is this?
I can't run a brewery and not show up with beer.
They're cold, just so you know, they're cold.
Oh, yeah,
and it's actually happens to be a hot day today, so I'm going to be watching the Dodgers, the World Series. I'm a big Dodger fan. As you know, a few of us go hang out at your place
I love
and watch the Dodgers and so forth, but we're going to be watching the game tonight. I'm going to have at least 1 or 2 of these. I don't really 100%. Drink much. Like, you probably know that because everybody knows that. They actually make fun of me because I'll have like maybe a half a drink, or I'll have like an old-fashioned at your place because you guys make them supreme. They're so good.
Thank you.
And I may have one. If I have 2 drinks, everybody's like, dude, Robert's partying like a rock star today. That's just how I am, right? I'm 6'2", 220 pounds, and I can't hold my liquor because I'm just not used to it. You know what I'm saying? So tell me about this right here. What do we got?
Well, we got 2 of our flagships. We got our Holy Ghost Pilsner,
Okay.
And then we also got our Hazy Have Mercy. I figured I had to bring those two. And then I brought the other two. It's a little project that I'm kind of proud on because I headed up. But by that, I made like 2 phone calls and then somehow ended up in a boardroom with Novak, the N, and NHS from Santa Cruz Skateboards. And him and I were just kind of talking about snowboarding and this and that. But it was cool because I called him up to talk about a collaboration. I remembered there was a beer with the Santa Cruz logo on it, and I hadn't seen it in a while. I was like, hey, we're building a brand here. I'm in Santa Cruz. We really need to blow up in this market and also across the whole state. And I was like, Santa Cruz is a brand that's known throughout the world.
For sure. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I got a friend in South Florida that was posting up at the time I was like thinking about this, about a brand new skateboard he got, and he was riding all over the beach and taking fun Instagram pics with it. And I was like, we need something that will connect and really take Laughing Monk from like here to the next level, and really blow us out, especially in Santa Cruz, and make a mark. And I was like, how do we make a mark? I was like, we get that logo on our can. Yeah. So
So did you contact them directly? What'd you do?
And I used my network that I made here.
I
used my network. I reached out to my friend Chelsea. She's a Santa Cruz native. And I was like, hey, got this idea. And she's like, oh, the marketing guy's my friend. Here's his number. Good luck.
Wow.
So I called him up. He called me back. We talked a little bit, and he's like, love the idea. Let's keep this rolling. So we did. Me and the owner went down. We visited. They gave us a whole tour of their
So they got, just so you guys see, like they got the Santa Cruz logo on their beer. So okay, go ahead.
So yeah, we did a tour of their whole facility and stuff right here in Santa Cruz. Super cool. And then about 2 weeks later, me and the lady Jerry from San Francisco that runs our tap room and a lot of the brand and is responsible for a lot of the stuff you see here, and especially a lot of the can designs and everything. She wears more hats than me, if you can believe it or not. Yeah. So her and I went there with a bunch of samples. We sat down and had a beer sample with I'd say about 20 members of the NHS team. And like I said, Novak, the head, was sitting there trying beers with me, and it was a surreal moment.
But
I was like, I went from DJing, I was like, now I'm sitting in a boardroom, but like literally a boardroom at a skateboard company about beer. I was like, this is awesome. This is an interesting ride.
I love this because you know what? I always tell people this, and I always say, closed mouths don't get fed.
No.
In other words, you have to go and ask for it. Like to have the connections that you did would have never happened if you didn't think in your mind, you know what? I'm just going to go do it. Am I right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people think, well, I can't do that. Why can't you do that?
Right.
You can't do it because you're telling yourself. I always say he who says he can and he who says he can't are both right. So that's crazy that you're able to do that. And so how long did it take for you guys to come to some type of an agreement?
It happened pretty quickly, I'd say. Okay. The agreement and everything, probably a couple weeks, just a little bit of back and forth and stuff. Everything got signed up. And then the labels was the hardest part because we were like, hey, how do we make this awesome? So there was a lot of just kind of art designers going back and forth in my email. Where I didn't really have much say because I was like, I'm not an art guy. Yeah. I was just reading back and forth, and I was like, everything I saw, I was like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. This is cool. Oh, this is cooler. Yeah. And then so I'd occasionally put in some 2 cents and such, and then we landed on 2. We got our Santa Cruiser, and that's an interesting beer itself because a lot of them really liked our Pilsner, our flagship, and that is used with lager yeast. So that takes about 5-6 weeks to brew. Okay. We knew this is going to be a popular beer. 5 to 6 weeks in the beer community, that's a long time to brew something and hold. Yeah. We wanted something a little quicker and faster, but we wanted it to taste like the Pilsner and the lager that they NHS really enjoyed. So our awesome team in San Francisco created kind of a new style called a crispy ale. And it's right in between, you'd say, like a pale ale and a lager. And it's not so much a pale ale and it's not so much a lager. It wasn't lagered, but it's very similar and it hits like a lager. It's about 5.5% alcohol, so it's light and it's crushable and you can have multiple. And on a day like this, it's 80 degrees.
That's crazy,
right? That's the beer you want to drink.
We're like 2 days away from Halloween and it's like pool weather right now.
It's insane.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
That's why I love California, dude. It's like, I love it. Like, you know, I'm not into the whole, like, my kids love to go to the snow and everything. I'm not a snow guy.
I love the snow.
I could be honest with you. I know you do because you talked about, I'm just not a snow guy. Like, I love to go to the snow, but I can only be there for a couple of days and I'm done because I love the California weather. I love the beach. I love the
California
pool.
snow is so nice too because it's weird. If you ever go out east in the winter, it's cold, man. Yeah. It chills you to your bone.
Yeah, exactly.
Out here, I'm snowboarding in a hoodie 90% of the time. The only time I ever wear a heavy jacket is in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing. Back east, I was suited up left and right, freezing
We're big
cold.
wussies here, man. Californians are big wussies because
but
we're just like, we love the whole, like, I don't know, like everyone I talk to, and you know, I can go to the snow for a couple, 3 days, but after that, I'm done. Like, I'm like, okay, it's too cold. I don't want to go back.
That is why I like living here. I don't have to shovel my driveway.
Exactly.
I don't have to work in it. I just go and get the good parts. I go up for 2 days, I ride, I come back to, sunny Santa Cruz.
So great hire by Laughing Monk when they got you on board.
Thanks.
What made you want to go to Laughing Monk? Well, they were Fault Line before you got there. Yep. Is that correct?
They were Fault Line before. It was an interesting time. I was in between jobs. I just left Betty Burgers. I was district manager over there, and it just didn't kind of work out through the best. And it's just they were more counter service style, and I've been straight restaurants since I was 19. That's been what I've been. That's been my thing, is full service restaurants like us. So just looking through Indeed and trying to figure out, I was looking at a real estate license, which I still kind of am. I was looking at different tech degrees and things.
You can't practice real estate in Scotts Valley, just letting you know. Just kidding. No, you can.
Hey man, if you're looking for if you're looking for some help.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
But no, I was thinking commercial real estate, get that good money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I found it on Indeed and was like, all right, Scotts Valley. I was like, it's close. Me and my fiance, we're trying to move over to San Jose because that's where she was working. So I was like, all right, let me see if I can get a job over there. Move over the hill. Maybe it's a little cheaper. We don't know. We're still new out here. Find this place. Walk into the interview. I sit down with the owner, Sam. About 5 minutes
nice
in.
Guy,
dude, he's super nice. He's the
guy.
man. And it goes from an interview to two dudes just kind of hanging out and chatting.
Yeah, that's
like
cool.
he asked me a few questions about restaurants, and then it just kind of turned into us just like joking, laughing, and like hanging out. And then about 30 minutes later, he goes, "Oh, right, all right, I'm gonna give you a call. I got some things to figure out, and then we'll go from there." And I was like, "Sick." Calls me the next day, gives me an offer, an offer I can't refuse.
Yeah, love it.
So I took it, and then now it literally is just like working for my best friend.
Awesome.
And it's so cool. The guy basically said, hey, here's a restaurant. I'm trying to build a company and a brand, and I have to do my share. So I can't sit at this restaurant and build just this restaurant. We have a whole brand to build, right? And I was like, I'm on board. I built a brand before, my DJ self, my promo company and everything. And I was real bummed that I kind of lost that in the pandemic. So I was like, yeah, let's go. I'm on board. And it's great. It's a great dynamic, and now it's literally like working for my best friend.
That's awesome, Jay.
And so
I can tell you love what you do.
I'm happy. I do.
And you know what else? Like, I can tell you love what you do because I see you in there all the time. When we go in there, obviously, dude, you're like you're chatting it up, but like your eyes are like on everything. Like know what's happening at all times. Like you're one of those guys that you do your job. You're great at networking, but you know everything that's going on behind the scenes. Nothing gets past you. And your employees are awesome, bro. So good. They're so nice. What you said earlier, like, I've never seen anybody like the employees just amazing. They're nice. They smile all the time. Exactly what you just said is what they do. Like, they're like, how can I help you? And if it's something don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. That's just, I've never had a bad experience there. And I'm telling you the truth. I've never had a bad experience there. Yeah.
I had a couple moments where it's like, I don't know if it's like surreal or realization. Just a couple times, past couple months, I've come in because like I also do beer sales for us too around the county and everything. So a lot of days like I'm off running around, and it just depends on how busy I am and stuff. But there's a couple nights where I came in and the staff were like, oh, Matt's here. They're like, are you actually working tonight? You're staying, you're closing, you're hanging out? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh yeah. And they got so excited. I'm like, cool. I was like, I've never had a boss in my life that I was like, oh, this guy's working tonight. Yeah. Yes, I'm so happy to work with him. But they were like genuinely stoked because like, I haven't worked with you in a few days. And, blah, blah. And I was just like, you guys like me that much? Like,
see, like in my office, when I walk in, they're like, oh, are you going to be here for the day? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, I got to go.
Yeah, right? I was like, you guys
that's
like,
awesome.
I was like,
that's good, bro.
It's
that's
super
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
And that just makes me want to work harder for them then.
For sure.
And just do more because it's a cool feeling to come in and just get high fives and like my staff's stoked to see me. Yeah. Where we've all had managers where like, oh crap.
I feel it, bro. I got to tell you, like I feel it. Like I feel what you're telling me, the vibe that you have with your people. Yeah. And I also feel the vibe that you have with the customers and everything. So good for you, man. Good job.
Thank you.
Last question. what's next for Laughing Monk? You guys got anything new coming up, or anything you want to share, or what's up?
Something I think I've told a few people here and there. People have heard some murmurs, and then I started quieted down because there's been some ups and downs, and I got a little too ahead of myself and excited, but like, delays and things. But we have a new menu coming out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep. I looked at our menu, and like I said, I'm from a small town and such, and like anything I do and change and look at Laughing Monk, I go, what do I want? And then what do people want? That's why I love feedback. When some people that are really nice and like I'm friends with around town, regulars come, they're like, oh, I don't want to say anything. It's like, no, tell me. Tell me what's wrong. Tell me if you didn't like something. Tell me what's bad, because I can't fix it if I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
And so all I do is just take all information, I look at everything, and I go, okay, how do we make something better? And then as well as I go to my staff, hey, we're having this issue. What do you guys think? What are your ideas? Because I can't just be the only idea guy. Right. So I looked at a lot of the food that we have, talked to a lot of the staff, and just seen from other people, and I'm like, we need variety. Yeah. We need consistent variety, but we need stuff that people enjoy and kind of change, and just some good old American bar classics. I was like, I already sell chicken, right? So why don't we just go ahead and make chicken the main thing on the plate and give you a whole kind of like protein, nice entree section. So this way we see people a couple times a week. I've seen dads come in for lunch on business and then come in with the kids at night, right? So I was thinking, how do I sell that guy two different things? Right. How does he not come in and just get the bourbon burger twice because he loves it, which is
that's
great.
Bourbon burger.
It's so good.
It's money. Go ahead.
But now it's like, hey, you come in for lunch, you're going to be able to get like a pulled pork sandwich. You can get our fish and chips on a sandwich, a little coleslaw, tartar sauce like that, right? Our same crispy chicken sandwich, well, now you can get it buffalo style, So have a little bit of options and stuff, but it's still that same great thing. And then you want to come back for dinner? Well, now you have our whole new entree section, where if you want a blackened ribeye, you go ahead and get that. You want to get a loaded baked potato with that, and then some veggie medley?
Really?
Yeah, go ahead. You want some mahi-mahi with some pineapple mango salsa on there? There you go. You want a salmon teriyaki with mashed potatoes and veggies? You're going to have all those options. You want to substitute like a sweet potato or something? We're going to be doing that and looking for some new specials and such like that. So I really kind of wanted to make a big entree section. My goal with taking over was like, anytime I take over a restaurant, it's baby steps. You got to go turtle route, slow and steady, or else you're never going to win the race. And you always have to be evolving and changing, because if you rest on your morals, you're never going to go anywhere. Yeah. And like I said, like we're blowing up. We're Laughing Monk. We're trying to be big, expansive, and keep going. And
expansive, not expensive, because you're not expensive.
I try.
You're like an average meal anywhere you go.
That was my goal.
Pretty much.
I don't want to outprice the community. I want people to be able to come in a couple times a week. I want people to come in after soccer practice and not break the bank. I keep thinking of stuff like, when I take my fiance out, what annoys me? So I'm going to make sure my restaurant doesn't do that. Okay. Gotcha. Because I have the ability to control that. Yeah, so sure. I'm gonna, and I want to make sure, we're inclusive to everybody of all like money brackets, so you can come in and get a good meal and a beer for a good price at any time. And that's why we've designed our happy hour too. We have two for that reason, because not a lot of people are hanging out between 12 and 2. Let's be honest. Yeah. Right? Our old happy hour was between 12 and 4. I was like, well, everyone's at work. Yeah. What do you want when you get off work? You want to go to a happy hour and have a beer or two. So now we got 12 to 2, 4 to 6, that after work crowd. Oh, wow. And then we've added tostadas now because, I gave them my kitchen. I was like, guys, come on, create something. Give me something cool and fun. And they're like, how about this for happy hour? I was like, great, let's go.
Dude, what about the pozole? You guys had pozole one time.
Yes.
2 years ago?
Yes.
That was I'm a pozole guy. Mm-hmm. I don't like menudo. I'm Hispanic, and I grew up eating menudo and pozole the whole time as a kid, and I love pozole. Dude, you got to bring that back.
It's coming
back.
Even
once in a while.
Even
if it's just like, this month, we're going to do pozole for a few Dude, I'll be there every day. That's so good.
If the weather would cooperate, it's not soup weather. So
I'll still take pozole.
I know, we were
anytime.
Talking about it.
Dude, I could be in the desert, and I'll still have pozole. I love
those
pozole.
Guys?
Heck yeah, I love pozole, man. And it was good. And I was pretty surprised. Like,
oh, yeah.
Wow, these guys really knew how to do it.
I got some real good cooks back there.
Well, here's what everybody should know. Like, when I asked him this question, I literally had no idea that you were coming up with, expanding the menu, just so you guys know. So it's not a setup.
Nope.
It's actually cool talking to you about it.
Yeah.
And people find out here first. When is this expanded menu supposed to kick in?
December 1st. I should have my new menu books because I'm changing those. That's what the delay's been. I got some custom menu books. They're a nice color. They got our logo on it, so that just takes a little bit. Yeah. But I was told about 6 weeks, about 3 weeks ago. Okay. So it's looking like December 1st should be kind of ready to rock.
Dude, that's exciting.
Time more or less. We're gonna have some new cocktails on there. We're working on some fall cocktails that are gonna come out this week.
Do not ever mess with the old fashioned.
We won't. No, that's a staple. I mean,
Matt loves it.
Two things.
I love Matt. I'm talking Matt McDonald.
Oh, absolutely. That is his favorite drink.
He's an old fashioned guy.
I'm
an old fashioned guy.
So I'm an old fashioned guy.
Are you really? Yeah,
absolutely. When I came in and I first started with the bar program, I was like, we need a good old fashioned. They're like, well, here. I was like, no. Yeah. We need a good old fashioned. I was like, I drink whiskey and beer. And then when I go to Florida, tequila.
Awesome, dude. Well, I'm going to ask you this question. So if you were to have one meal, you knowing everything that you know at Laughing Monk, what would that be?
One meal at Laughing Monk?
Yeah.
I'd have to go with my baby and my creation. Being from the East Coast, and we had prime rib Fridays, which we still do, $25, nice slice of prime rib, right? We'd always have some leftover. I was like, I need a good cheesesteak in town, and we don't have that. We don't have, So I went to the chefs. I was like, hey, man, a little East Coast flavor, a little West Coast, right? So we made the prime rib dip. I took the French dip idea, my cheesesteak idea, and I put it together. So you try that bad boy with just some ketchup without the sriracha mayo.
I've had that. It's so good. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
That is probably my favorite thing on the menu besides my other creation, the brewski, which we are now actually, and this goes back to how much we love our staff. Our guy, Drew, loves burgers. That is his thing. He works so hard, and we already call him Drewski, so we're just renaming the Brewski to Drewski. So it's the Drewski burger named after our man Drew. I got to give him that shout out. He's a hardworking kid. So
there's some good places in town that actually have good cheesesteaks. Bruno's has a good one. Jersey Mike's has a good one.
Jersey Mike's is good.
It's really good. And the one that your creation, dude, that is so good. I know exactly which one you have. You're talking about, because there's been a few times when I've been in like 2 or 3 days in a row, and I've had that plate alone, because it's that good.
Oh, yeah.
That good.
No, more often than not, that's when my fiance's like, "You're still open?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm coming to get that."
Thanks for being on the show, bro.
Dude, thanks for having me.
I know how busy you are. You're like, you're running a great business. You're doing a wonderful job, and I mean it when I say this. Laughing Monk, Sam, they're lucky to have a guy like you.
Thanks.
And you run the show spectacularly. We love going in there and hanging out and so forth, and hopefully our Dodgers are going to win the World Series. I say mine. I don't know if you're a Dodger fan, but I am. And
I am now. I'm a sports guy. I root for who I live near.
I know. But whoever wins, it's still fun.
Absolutely.
It's fun going into Laughing Monk and watching a game. And I love when you guys have bands and so forth. So, any new stuff coming up with bands or anything, you guys going to keep doing that? It's been a while. I haven't seen one in there for a while.
Well, we just had Ripsy Nickel on the 18th. We did a fundraiser for one of our staff members and another girl out of Santa Cruz that both won the lifeguard junior flags tournament for the nationals. And now we raised some money for them to go to Worlds in New Zealand this coming month in November. But then that was a great party. Now we got working on a Christmas party like I always like to do. So we're going to have a band prep definitely for our Christmas party.
Is that an employee party or
no,
just like old guys like me invited?
Old guys, everybody. It's a community
Dude,
party.
You don't have to agree with me on the old guys. Dude, that sounds fun, bro. That sounds good.
It's okay. My staff calls me old man all the time, and I'm just
Your staff's like 18, 19 years old, right?
Yeah.
But
they're from like 16 to like 56.
But they all handle themselves so amazing. So thanks again,
great.
Dude. I could sit here and talk to you for like 3 hours.
I know. When you said 15 minutes, I was like, bro.
I know. If we start talking more, I'm going to open one of these up.
Absolutely. We'll have to come back and do a little beer sample and taste.
Thank you, bud. Thanks again, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Absolutely. Anytime. I'll come back. Sure. We'll sample some beers next time.
Let's do it.
Talk about it.
So that's Matt Laughlin with Laughing Monk. You know him. He's a great guy. If you don't know him, take an opportunity to say hello next time you're inside Laughing Monk. He really is a great dude. And all the people there that work there, thank you. Me as a customer of Laughing Monk. And, we visit all the restaurants here in town. So they're all great. But when I go into Laughing Monk, you know, I just appreciate so much the way you guys all are. So this message is for you, the staff at Laughing Monk. You guys are awesome. Always a smile, always do things with class, and so you make the experience of being at Laughing Monk that much better. Thank you all. And thank you all for watching this program. Hope you enjoyed getting to know Matt a little bit more. I know I did. And looking forward to having some more awesome guests on our program. Want to wish you a great day or evening. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.